CSGO. So I feel like for me, Ancient seems like a bit of a win factor. Yes. And I hope Chetz got a good idea under their belt as we're about to get started, ladies and gentlemen, into the first map of our first quarterfinals here in the ESL Premierships, powered by Intel. This is going to be a corker. Chetz, start on the T side. Viperio, start on the CT side.
Listen, man, this is done. You know, no time to ask any more questions. This is a time to give answers. Viperio, as you said, starting on that CT side. They take towards middle. Swaggy, he's going to slip in towards pocket. Viperio have a pretty deep read right now that no one's towards B. And in fact, the impulse play here from Chetz is they are going to go for an A execute. Swaggy's going to be caught out by Artist. But this means the A site itself is a little bit undermanned as Viperio lose control. Chetz will get a bomb plant.
Yeah, Xavi going to put it down. Gizmi actually denying. Bomb won't go down. Xavi dropped through the smoke. A headshot. Puts him 6 feet under and a 2-man advantage in favor of Viperio. And then it's going to take a couple of taps of his own. This is looking really dicey. It's all down to one man. 1 versus 5. Is it going to be a flawless round? He's spotted out in towards Temple. And this is a done affair, surely.
Finds one and a second. Okay, Ents, he's showing some form. Last 3 players are actually 1 dinks to the Glock. I mean, sure, he's yet to get the bomb down, but there's a minute to toy with here. Ents in a position that Viperio should be losing, but it's another individual fight taken. Now upgrades to the dual Beretta. He'll double dip and MMS will have him covered. But that is a mean start to our playoff stage. Viperio avoid the scare of a 1v5 loss, and they do indeed take the pistol.
That got extremely close. I mean, a little bit too close for comfort for my liking. Yeah. I mean, credit to NT. He steps up to the plate, puts the team on his back in terms of trying to make it expensive. It's better than nothing, but it's not good enough in those sort of rounds. On the T side, on a pistol, you need a bomb plant if you want any sort of safe economy to work with in towards round number 2. And that's not the case for Chetz. It is going to be a forced buy, but a pretty janky one at that. For Viperio, they've got a nice, comfortable couple of rifles to work with. MP9s, this should be pretty easy.
Smoke on cave. Not bad. I like this idea. You know, for Chetz, they want to take a force buy. They know that that round was a lot narrower than maybe it should have been. So they want to dip their toes into Tech 9s, into Mac 10s, into utility, in Kevlar, and all those extremities to a decent force. Artist getting forced forward by the molly, but he does it late. And Chetz caught with their pants down to make it 3 with the MP9. And it's just Dutchy left alone here, 1 versus 5. I don't think we'll have any repeats of the pistol. Viperio will have this one under lock and key.
Yeah, half armor, smoke flash, and a Tech 9. Not exactly the dream buy in this sort of scenario, and there's nothing really for him to pick up. Might be able to find himself one. I speak a little bit too soon, but he'll see that one off quite comfortably. A flawless second put on the board for Viperio. And heading into the 3rd round, there's going to be minimal investments pulled out here by Chetz. They're going to try and stick around that 2K mark and more or less give up a 3-round lead over towards Viperio. And on the CT side, building up this strong, stable foundation already at such an early standpoint. Massive for Viperio on a map in which we said is a bit of a win factor for Chetz. I feel like, as I said, if Viperio take Ancient, this series goes 2-0.
You are right. You know, those BO3 formats, you can't really afford to lose your map pick, right? It's just more pressure and a lot on your shoulders if you do lose out. First kill has been pretty solid here. Second follow-up as well. The MP9 just making money here. Ping gives me actually finding TVS. I thought the MP9 doubled up there, but instead pinched away from him. Just down to 2. Ents and Javi. He's looking for any damage they can get at this point. But this round, as you said, should 100% be going in that Viperio name. And so now it's time to see what Chetz have when they invest in rifles and they have themselves a decent force investment.
Exactly. I mean, we didn't expect anything here. Ring around the rosies. I'll give it to him.
Oh, no.
Ends turns at just the right time, and he'll find one more Artist. Left, right, good night. As he will fall. 1 versus 3 now. I mean, I want to say doable, but it's unlikely. Just making sure that he knows the thing there. Shouldn't try and knife him. Just oh no, shot. He finds one more as well. Credit to at least make it expensive. But the only thing to mention, it was the MP9s that did fall there in what was essentially a bonus round. So it now means that for MMS, Artist, Ping, they can reinvest, and it's a heavy investment as well. So this is no longer seen as a bonus round and actually a full buy coming out both ways. This is essentially the real test for what Viperio can do on their CT side. They've fared against the pistols, the force buys. Now what can they do against the AK-47s and a whole host of utility support?
Of course, this is number 4. Out of 30 here on Ancient. Ping Bobbing in a molly, and TVS telling Dutchy he doesn't want to take face. Instead, he's happy giving them some early control. Artist going to go for a little bit of a jump spot. Wondering if they were going to assemble any form of boost to have a deep look in on ramp. Instead, the Orc goes wandering on his own and plucking Dutchy out of the sky, letting go of utility to try and catch off on the long play. It's Viperio. They get their hands dirty and go a little aggressive in the beginning of round number 4. Gizmy jiggling in towards Donut. He's going to pick up on some information. But of course, play advantages.
Swaggy, Flash, trying to just give him a bit of space to work with in towards mid. Quite smart, he doesn't overextend as well. And Artist, he's all too aware that this is a real possibility. Swaggy posting up here is a pretty decent decision. It just locks off rotations. Any sound cue he gets will be a positive as the flash will come through. Ping will avoid. Translate the initial point of contact and Xavi other ideas.
Brilliantly done. 4v4. Now this round back in contention. MMS is going to be locked out solo. He's going to have to ride this on his own. There's your first kill. MMS only good for the single. Xavi does hold his nerve and get the trade. Swaggy might be in for a couple more, but Giraffe with a FAMAS, he's able to take down the mid-lurk. Now the bomb needs to be picked up back from spawn. And Chetz bought valuable time for Viperio to go for the retake. And before the bomb even goes down, before the post plant even ensues, Viperio, they retake control of B. And Xavi, short bomb in his pocket, but 50 points of health and nowhere to go. It'll be Viperio that take 4 for 4.
Great round. We said, what can they do on their first full test? And, oh, they've passed it with flying colours. And it now means for Chetz, it's kind of back to square one. I think a force buy in here would be janky, but I understand why they go for it. But, you know, as things stand, Chetz obviously know that things aren't going well. I mean, opening kills constantly going in favour of the CT side. The trades aren't working in favour of the T side. And for Chetz, they're starting to lag behind it now. It's a slight investment towards round number 5, where we see Mac 10's picked up, Pistol trying to find some thing to work with, and there's an opener. Gives me a 4. Donut's open, and they're trying to fly towards A.
Artist, though, with the orb. Oh, okay. Nice shot from Swaggy. A rifle in his pockets, and he might just be able to share the wealth as well with that AWP falling into the hands of TVS as he finds another. Whoa, TVS with the orb! A sharpshooter for Chetz. That might just be the spark to ignite the flame, as it is just MMS left on his own. And of course, you try and go wandering to pluck out this fight, but Ents will left, right, good night. Viperio, they finally concede a round, but it's at the cost of just an eco.
I've got to say, that was a round in which Viperio should have very comfortably just walked away. It never even really should have been an issue for them when you consider, you know, double Mac 10 and a few pistols coming through. That should have been one-way traffic. But it's a classic case, and something maybe of kind of food for thought over towards Chetz is that when they step up the tempo, when they go fast, they cause problems. And Viperio can't quite handle that pressure. Maybe something which they might want to capitalize on.
Oh, I like this play from Artist. Getting proactive with the AWP again, this time towards middle, though. This shot. It's alright. Principle over meaning. Gizmy will be the first to silence one of these Chetz players. TVS has one of his own in his pocket. It's MMS and Ping that both fall towards B. And Viperio, that's 2 solo plays. And it's an 0 for 2 for the CT side. But Chetz slam on the brakes rather than on the gas pedal. They want to rethink before they approach.
That's it for now. A little bit slow now, as a bit of utility will come through. Giraffe on the other side of the smoke will drop one of his own, and Dutchy, other ideas, lined it up. He was just seeing if he could be a bit of a nuisance. He drops the smokes of his own, but Dutchy will pluck him away as the bomb goes down and the post barn set up with a 2-man advantage. It's an early save call. Viperio want nothing to do with this. Long-term economy is abysmal, and an open M4S being saved across would be a nice. And to get killed towards Ents isn't too bad either.
Liking it. I'm liking it. It's proactiveness, it's fun, it's entertaining Counter-Strike from Chetz, but ensuring they don't make mistakes and communicating with one another is the most important thing. And there we have it. Bomb will detonate. Economy redistributed to these Chetz players. For Viperio, of course, a difficult decision is now you've lost 2 in a row. I mean, usually you eco, and I think that is the play to be making here. But what's going to be behind this M4 and the AWP, right? Do you just leave it at 3 USPs? Do you want to maybe dip into your money a little bit more and maybe get a Deagle, try and support them and give them a leg to stand on a little bit more so? By the looks of things, they opt for the former, not the latter. And it is just a Gizmi Artist show required to give Viperio number 5.
Yeah, I can kind of understand this. It might even prompt a little bit of a gamble stack, and we are seeing that being set up over towards B. He's going to post up. Leave it. Gives me the M4A1S to go searching for something of his own. Needs to be careful as TVS and AWP is just posted up, waiting for overextensions, waiting for mistakes. And with this sort of janky bite, I can understand why they're being a little bit more hesitant. But I like the Zeus call.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's a fun one, mate. It's a fun one. I think a lot of people are going to be quick to be questioning the Zeus. I think the person that is probably most renowned for the Zeus is Zetherato, right?
Of course.
He's like the Zeus merchant. I think everyone just took inspiration. Actually, a sick gun, though. Genuinely, like, a sick gun. The fact that it gives you no kill for the dollar that you spend on it, sure, understandable. But the fact in one close range zap, you just get an AK is quite insane. Something to note, though, ENCE has done well to fight off against the USPs, but now, of course, onto the better weapons. Artist has managed to pluck apart both TVS and Swaggy. Gizmi, unchecked, uncoordinated, this Chetz A-hold. And now it's just down to Dutchy. A 1v2, has his first. Will he have a say in the second? It's Gizmi to try and hold up against it. A jiggle on the angle and a bomb scooped up could mean some lenience towards B. But Gizmi goes wide swinging. And that means Dutchy is pinned behind this default box, tries to alleviate said pressure with a flashbang. And double dips will be his demise as Gizmi scoops the AWP. It's Viperio up to a 5th. How very well played from the AWP and the M4, and a colossal mistake from Chetz.
Yeah, Gizmi's played that to perfection as well. He was always just lurking, being a nuisance, hunting for information. They kind of expected that Rap was going to come back around towards A, and all Gizmi had to do was post up, hold, wait. A 3K from him on the way out is really something special as well. Denies the bomb, finds the person on protection duty, and then a third as well, just to see it off. It's really fantastic. And scooping up the AWP on the way out means that the economy doesn't get as heavily dented. For Viperio, that is such an important round to take, but TVS will double down. LS and Ping instantly fall down as they line up.
Critical shot that fires from the big green, one that Viperio will feel gravely. This Gizmi, the man of last round, needs to do it again. Tagged up by the flashbang. Surely an audio cue given, but he's actually slipped the net. A great shot from Artist. Fires off one through the wall, doesn't connect, but Gizmi's got a double. And yet again, it's a Viperio advantage, or rather a Chetz advantage, but a Viperio round, unless Dutchy could do one better. It's a 1v3, too many angles, not enough chance. And Viperio, another roll of the dice after a very unfortunate collateral. They make things work in the 3v5, and all 3 remaining survive. Another great round from Viperio.
I've got to say, individuals really stepping up for Viperio now, really causing kind of problems over towards Chetz, where I think the biggest issue for them, more than anything, is just the lack of trade capability that we're seeing in each and every round, where we see the individual fights happen and no one able to trade them off. When they find a double opener, it should be comfortable. And for TVS to continuously step up the AWP and not have the support around him is going to cause problems long term. Viperio, for them, with a 4-round lead, they are sitting pretty. Chetz, not so much. Hence why they've called for attack pause here in towards this next round. They know they're already starting to be under the cusp a little bit, just as we begin in towards round number 9. And granted, yeah, we're going to see a somewhat full buy come through. I mean, Dutchy's going to be pretty awkward and potentially just a Mac 10. Oh, no. Just going to have an AK to work with. As we see, a relatively janky full buy with that double glil coming through. And for Chetz, a similar scenario where failed to find this round and failed to get a bomb plant, they could have no money in towards the next. And Viperio will just continue to pull further and further away.
Okay. TVS getting a bit proactive with the AWP. Maybe after seeing Artist run rings around them with the big green, wants to, you know, stick his foot out and maybe trip up the Irish AWP. Chetz playing very silent in this round, though. Having a buy that consists of some Galil, some AKs is never something that plays into your forte. Instead, Viperio want to take things a little more slower and a little more passive because they themselves know financially on a knife's edge. But who better than to start the round than the big man of Artist? That's his 15th kill, by the way, Nao. 9th round, 15th kill.
Safe to say he's having a decent time on the server right now. And already it's starting to look pretty dicey. Giraffe, Gizmi, combining, Artist adding 1 to his tally, and it leaves TVS all alone. He'll be able to pick himself up 1, potentially another as well. Gizmi could just be a nuisance.
Yeah, I don't even think they'll peek. Yeah, flash to force him off the angle. The AWP then comes in, and then Artist will deliver the last. His 17th kill now in 9 rounds. He's having a great time here on the big green. And considering, of course, that was a Chetz full buy in the previous, again, it's back down to a half buy. SMGs, pistols, probably stacks of util. Personally now, I'd like to see a quicker play by Chetz. I feel like a lot of these plays have been very mid-roundy, no real aggression taken by Chetz. What about some fast B smokes? What about a fast mid play? Just try and isolate Gizmy in on Donut, because he's been playing that very well. Gerard's been playing very well towards A, just doing his job in holding down the site. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I feel like Chetz are playing a little more systematic. For Viperio, I feel like they work well in that. Maybe a little more chaos added is the flavour that knocks Viperio off the scent.
I got to say as well, I mean, one of the 2 rounds that we saw be successful for Chetz was just off the back of them stepping up the tempo, just flying out towards A. And it worked because they were able to overwhelm. And especially overwhelm someone like Gizmy, who so far has seemed so comfortable, never really tested. And just as I speak, Ping will fall, flying through in towards Cave, taking that control, stepping up the tempo. This is where Chetz have done some of their best work. And I think they need to continue doing it.
Very nice. The AK only one. There we go. So although it is sure a little more mid-rounding from Chetz, but it feels like they've glued together in this round and thrown it towards B. At least it results in a bomb plant. Whether the round goes their way is still a question to be answered. Artist still alive, and all the time that's in play, you feel like anything can happen. Giraffe has to first, spots the arm of Jaffe, and a second kill. TVS needs to hit shots. There's your first, the second on the line, and Giraffe will walk into it as well. And that's a brilliant pick up there for Chetz. It's a half buy that delivers an AWP saved and a third on the board. That's more like it for Chetz. That's what we wanted to see.
TVS, again, I think for me, in terms of, he might not be swinging away into the top fragging, but the impact he had with those frags have just been something that is being, I guess the difference maker is probably the best way to put it for Chetz. They need someone like that. Of course, Ents has been cooking up really, really well, 12 and 9, not too shabby, but it's TVS's impact time and time again with the AWP, with the rifle, he's making it work wonderfully. For Chetz, they need a lifeline, and finally something has been extended their way, because with Viperio, into round of 11, a little bit of a janky buy. Double MP9, double rifles, but not a bad start at MP9. And MMS just flying forward.
The MP9 might have just evolved into an AK for Ping. I think maybe waiting for the smoke to fade before he goes claiming it, just to make sure no one's playing in a cheeky angle that can knock him out of the rounds. Away goes the AK of Swaggy. MMS wants to get involved. Ping, as I said, will get the upgrade. All of a sudden, the buy for Viperio looks a little more sturdy. And, well, there was an AK once on this angle. Now it's an AWP, but flush off the angle. Viperio, second best in possession, but in first in numbers, unless Ping can make this one work. And there's his second kill of the round. Giraffe has slotted another one in nicely. And, well, I may have spoke a bit too soon here, because it's looking pretty good for Viperio. TVS does fire back on with the AWP. Good swing over the A4. TVS, just too many angles to hold. AWP on the angle. 1 HP. Ain't going to happen against the HE. So with that, Viperio up to an 8. And Comfort maybe starting to settle in here for the CT side.
We've already seen as well about how that opening kill and taking a man advantage early doors has been the difference maker more often than not, and that's another primary example. Despite them having lesser firepower and rifles to work with, yeah, double MP9 to start things off, it was those sort of, those sort of slightly janky buys that force you to change the tempo that work wonderfully for Viperio. They're going to guarantee themselves a lead at the half. And with a 5-round lead and with many more rounds to play, you'd expect them to probably even get double digits at the very least.
This time, Chetz want to test the waters towards A. I was going to say, Giraffe has done a brilliant job in holding, but I don't think he's ever been tested on just a simple contact approach. And, well, Swaggy's deagle to knock his head off his shoulders gives the impression maybe he wasn't expecting that one. Gizmy going to rotate around as well with the AK, has a couple in his sights, finds the first. It was the VIP, the bomb carrier, but Swaggy is a response. Ping will finally penalise said deagle. Dutchy looking to try and create more problems with the one of his own. It's TVS's AWP to create some disturbance. A 2v2 Artist. Mate, this AWP, it's looking unreal right now for Viperio. It's all down to TVS here in the clutch.
Yeah, I mean, now, For TVS, we've seen some moments of brilliance, some magic really from this guy, but this would need something special. Good news is, I guess, it is a 1 versus 2, so the ability to isolate the fight is there, but, you know, bomb needs to be collected, planted, with 40 seconds left and 2 bodies to drop as well. This feels like it's just a task too heavy. We'll go for the jump spot. That'll give away his position, surely. And Pink can just post up on the other side of that smoke. He doesn't need to overextend. And the second he swings, Art's at range of the AWP, will pick him apart. It's like a book, a textbook from Viperio as they continue to just push the agenda about how good their Ancient actually is.
Of course, you can see in the top right, the picks. It is Chetz's selected here in map 1. It's Ancient that was their choice of the bunch. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried right now because, of course, we always say stats-wise and sort of what feels like, especially with the changes on Ancient, right? It feels like 5 rounds is still kind of like the meta number. You know, depending on the team, some can deal with more rounds being 1, some can deal with less rounds being 1. Just depends on the grain of the team as well. You know, if the golden number is 5, Viperio are 1 step away from making that the maximum, right? And the half is still very much up in the air. We're only in round 13 in this one, and it's a force buy. So a lot of the eggs of Chetz placed in the basket of this round. Giraffe has to use the smoke to give him some leverage and some space. It's a great flashbang in the eyes of Xavi, but it's one that doesn't penalise Swaggy. The AK through smoke will find the first of 5, and Viperio required now to do a bit of wandering, maybe in a post plant as the C4 set in.
Well, bomb goes down. I mean, trying to rotate their way in. Numbers brought a level off the hands of the AWP, and that at least gives them some room to work with. That flash as well, just trying to force that player off back flat who's holding down the 4, but that's a healthy smoke to come through, and an 8 on top of that could be even more problematic. The numbers are going in favour of the CT side and start to crumble. This post ball, which looks so strong, is left down to 2. Make that just 1.
It's all down to Ensign. His position known. Ping continues to stick, and Artist will run at him with a CZ. 21 kills in 13 rounds. He really is living up to his name. He is the artist for Viperio right now, painting the picture for their semi-final slot. As Chetz now on another investment. The bomb plant saves them financially, but it's another buy that tests the waters of Viperio, but one that holds heavy implications for the Chetz economy, and especially heading into that last round of the half. You do feel this is it, do or die for them for their T-half of Ancient.
I feel like, you know, for Chetz, it's already starting to get to the point of being extremely concerning. I mean, this is really not looking like the Chetz we know and love, especially the Chetz that in recent form are fantastic because they are being pulled apart into the meat grinder of that B site once again. They get decimated early doors. MMS will find the first. Healthy damage on towards ends 2 isn't too shabby because it means the M4 and the M4A1Ss get into the 1 dink territory.
This is nice positioning from Giraffe if Xavi doesn't check about timing, and he does indeed. A dink for dink, but as you said, the AK will always come off better unless that tag is prevalent. Gizmi on the back of the spike, definitely spotted one man, but walks into another. Bomb's already moved in towards A as well, so you can only suspect this indeed will be the alpha site being pressed. And while Chetz throw out the question, Viperio don't really have an answer, and I think a save call is most appropriate in this scenario.
There's no need, is there? I mean, you know, numbers don't favour them. They've got no control and no clear way back in towards that site. They know, especially with kind of the likes of Gizmi falling, it means that their pathway through CT is such a risk. And with the heavy investment that they've got, and the AK, of course, which they wouldn't be able to pick up, it's not worth it. Granted, Artist will find himself one towards Swaggy on exit, but I can't see Chetz trying to push it further anymore. They know they don't need to. X out towards main, keep hold of what they've got, and same except for Viperio. It's a bit of a standoff, a bit of respect shown both ways, just to keep hold of what they've got. 3 versus 3, and see off this round with Chetz going to pick up their 4th. And for Viperio, with the wealth of a lead that they've picked up already, they know they don't need to do anything over to this. Go in towards the final round of the half with a healthy full buy, a lot of utility to work with, and maybe even upgrade the pistols as well, just to add insult to injury. Viperio, that's not going to be too problematic for them, but they are going to call attack balls off the back of that, just to make sure they can pick up an 11th here in towards round number 15.
Tactical for the last round of the first half. Chetz. I mean, what could have been a little more promising in terms of the halftime scoreline? Feel like they lost out on a pretty integral round sort of at the beginning of the first half. I think it was against an Eco, right? Like they had 3 USPs, 2 saved guns, 2v5, and they still lose the round, or might have been 2v4. But you get the gist, right? You feel like that round there, where Viperio's economy is basically put down to its bare bones if you lose it, definitely does sculpt the half in some way or another. Last of the first half, though. Viperio, what do they have in their locker to try and make it 11-4, or will it indeed be the norm? The 10-5 scoreline definitely will be disrupted by MMS to kick things off. Swaggy, he's going to take a response towards middle. TVS kind of here to go back-to-back with him as they slip in towards Red Room.
All ready for Chetz. They tried to step up in terms of that tempo that we said was such a positive for them, and then it's actually been quite costly. It ends as a big person to 4, but Dutch will answer back. MMS falling. It's information gain, but it could be quite dicey as Swaggy will find one more. Now they can wrap on towards A if they want to.
King needs to find the kill. Conversion not there. Dutchy, a very quiet half. 4 kills heading into number 15, but those 2 might just be the most important 2. Bomb set down. 10 should be all they get here for the CT side. It's Artist alongside Giraffe. And of course, they are just going to try and press for a retake. Giraffe, smoke towards long, molly towards Cubby, flash towards sight. Dutchy's going to be flooded out of the angle, and indeed the molly will finish the job that he once started. Ping's assist, molly's kill. Now both players coming in. No kit for... Well, no smoke for the bomb, I was going to say. There is a kit involved, but it doesn't matter either way. There is not enough time for Giraffe. He's just going to play for the KD for Viperio. This round goes up in smoke, as it is indeed a 10-5 scoreline. So Viperio lead, but Chetz hold on. The question is, will this norm continue, and can Chetz respond on the CT side of their map pick? We'll find out up next.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, for the record, for the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I got to up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Frozen. 8-6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and age. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the. On record, off record. I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. Running through it with the young influence. Adolescent presence. I'm succumbing to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete objective, but the moves elusive and I'm barely moving, but I'm still gon' boost them. I can work on winnings when I know you're losing, so I work the winnings and they throw the deuces. Guess I have to pivot, shooting the bazookas for the facts. I need racks, paper cash, buck attacks. That's a joke. Tell them laugh. Uncle Sam, buck out the bag. Brody plot, but get a whack. Contract, give me the max. I got lab on my back. You ain't that, then it's raps. Whoa. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, yeah. For the record.
My exes and me, we don't talk anymore. If we did, I think it would get pretty ugly. They made me believe love's an open door. In the beginning, then they shut it pretty quickly. I thought we were good, at times even great, but apparently I was just one big mistake. My exes and me, we don't talk anymore. If we did, I think it
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What a half, and what a half, of course, if you're Viperio. They are looking very, very comfortable right now. On Chetz's map pick, it's been pretty one-sided. I think for Chetz, it's a lot for them to do. Of course, 5 rounds isn't too shabby on a T side of Ancient, but I think for me, it's not quite convinced me that this is a map in which they wanted to pick into.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to need to see a stonking start to their CT side if we want to, you know, put them in a position or at least include them in a conversation to be able to bring back the map pick that is Ancient back home in their name. Viperio go for a little bit of a double fake towards A, right? You run up mid, you go towards Red Room, and then they're going to circle back towards A anyway. So, donut control held up quite nicely. Julie from Swaggy will pick up the first. Oh, TVS actually pitching away a couple. Swaggy will get his say eventually. P250 of Artist just trying to tap and buy time for a flanking Giraffe. Unfortunately, some missed shots with the Glock and TVS sticking the bomb defuse will mean Chetz pick up the pistol. Viperio do not make an improvement on number 10 in round number 16.
Yeah, needed as well. I think for Chetz, we will, with that wealth of a lead that's been built up in that first half of Viperio, you kind of say for Chetz, a pistol round, it is a necessity, right? They need to kickstart that momentum early doors and continue to use that as a sort of a catalyst to success. For Viperio, though, the positive sign means a bomb plant, means money to work with, means there should be a fairly even bout heading in towards this next round, the force buy. And I usually do say as well that with the current sense of the meta, the force buy is more important than the pistol anyway. This is the round that really does matter. Fairly decent kind of mixed buy coming out both ways. Whoever comes out on top takes the early points of momentum here.
Lots of util and noise being created towards B. A few angles isolated here. Nice first frag. It's Swaggy to kick things off the bang. Ping does find one of his own, but Swaggy 3 HP, but 3 kills to his name. Ents will improve on that scenario as well. Dink through the wall. Ping does eventually get one with a Galil, but that is a round win for Viperio. That is, or sorry, for Chetz, but it's a bomb plant for Viperio, sorry. So I feel like we got the best of both worlds there, right? I think both teams could be quite happy with the result.
Exactly. I mean, again, our bomb plant will just continue to keep it ticking across the Viperio in terms of having some money to work with. I think even towards this sort of round, though, they might be a little bit more hesitant in terms of spending just because it didn't quite work in their favor. Stick about that 2K mark and kind of play for a nice full buy in towards the next. Continually force buying off the back of bomb plants isn't the plan of action. In a second round of a half, yes. As the standard meta at the moment, anything past that, not worth it. Hence, obviously, let's go for those Tech 9s to try and force a bit of an agenda in towards round number 18. But for Chetz on this CT, already a much, much better start.
Certainly. Looks a little more comfy for them, right? I feel like they're getting more bold and sort of, they feel like their actual character when they're on the CT side, right? Playing to their own accordance. Ping and Artist. Nice damage. Molly trying to stop the bomb plant. Artist have got a smoke to put that one to rest. And they certainly won't deny either. Wallbang that does integral damage. The 2v3 and a lot of this already done. Damage unconfirmed. Ents gets a smoke in on short. Ping's position kind of pointless now. And it's now all eyes on Artist. What can he do with this Galil? Probably one of the worst guns in terms of T-riflery, but he's going to try and make this one stick anyway. Ents takes a fair chunk of damage. Zawi the same. I think they know there is someone on the bomb, and Ping tries to take him off it. 2 HP. It does not matter. Chetz will have themselves another.
Yeah, if Zavi had fell there, that might actually change things. I mean, granted, the kit was still available, but it's just more of a case of there wasn't a lot of time to work with. Not to be. Anyway, Chetz up to an 8th, but now is where we get to really see what Viperio can bring to their T-side. A full buy coming out, which is the AKs to work with, a lot of utility on the table as well. The only thing they don't have in terms of, you know, competing with Chetz is that AWP, which could be somewhat problematic because we know what TVS has been doing with it recently. So we'll have to wait and see, but now it's time to see what they can actually bring to the table in terms of a T-side round with an actual full buy.
Yeah, so both teams getting sort of equal weaponry, equal chances. I mean, there's an AWP on TVS. That's something that we've got to take into account. There's no longer an AWP on TVS, so it's something we no longer need to account for. Gizby's found a second. And, well, that feels a bit easy for Viperio to take the A site. Donut and CT player removed in the matter of seconds. and sort of all of the puzzle pieces fit into place here. There's going to be an AWP save. There's going to be plenty of chance for Chetz to save their weapons. That's got to sting a little bit, Chetz, because you kind of build up that round to be an easy one, and then all of a sudden you just get wrecked, like absolutely deleted out towards A.
Yeah, step up in tempo works wonders. And we already said towards that first half about how for Chetz that seemed to be like one of their best weapons that they've got to work with on their T side. When they step up the tempo, they, you know, put all the pressure on towards that CT side in terms of just playing the numbers game, spreading them thin. And, well, that's exactly what Viperio do in their own regard. And a very important thing as well is that the fact that they get that AWP to work with for free, they don't have to invest into it, is a nice little cherry on top. For Chetz, the silver lining that's around is 3 remain alive, which means, you know, it's not too expensive to kind of reinvest back in. A couple dropped across and they can compete once further. They'll be kicking themselves, though. They kind of let that one slip just because they were caught a bit flat-footed.
5 away from securing map number 1 here, Viperio. Don't forget, if you're new to Counter-Strike or you don't know how it works, basically, it's a race to 16. Long story short, right? It's like, basically, you want to buy, save your money, get to 16.
Exactly.
Viperio, 5 rounds away from it, mate, and already getting a bit inventive on a mid-play. The boost is looking pretty strong, hence, there's one of his own, though. It's a solo man play. Up on the first box, finds the head of the AWP, so Viperio down to 4.
Already, not exactly a bad start. I like the aggression coming through here from Enton towards mid. They go for a little bit of a boost, but it doesn't really amount to too much. That smoke in their face makes their job, their task, all the more tougher. As that smoke dissipates, a lot of reliance on Giraffe here to kind of reclaim that lost space and try and make it work in their favor. Not going to opt to use the Molotov just yet, though. He's waiting and hoping for a mistake to come through.
Notice how Chetz are playing passive as well. Don't want to give anything away. Xavi and Ents both with kills. It's a 2v5. So despite Viperio doing a very good job in the previous and making things look easy, Chetz have thrown it right back in their face. And with 45 seconds on the clock, it's a 2v5. It's not ideal. I think now it's just damage limitation. How much can Viperio get away with? Well, the answer feels like nothing, because already half of the remaining force removed. It's just Giraffe here against all 5 players here on the Chetz side.
Already, gotta say, for Giraffe, just trying to keep all of what he can to be nice. And if he can keep that AWP in play, that'll be beautiful. Just shy of 20 seconds on the clock. And I think he probably actually should be okay. Keep that AWP in play. If he really needs to, he's got a flash to sort of bail him out. But he doesn't overextend too far forward. He should be not too bad to keep that AWP in play, but much better from Chetz. And the fact that they've made it flawless as well means that their long-term economy builds up. They have a little bit more stability under their belts as well, and everything starts to look just that little bit easier. Viperio, once they lost the man advantage, they looked a bit dumbfounded, a bit lost in terms of what their plan of action was, what they were going to try and utilize in their favor to try and make that round work. And I think maybe even just playing a contact out towards A might have been the better option, but they were spread a little bit thin at times, one by one, not being able to find trades, and it left it all down to one man. Of course, the nice thing is that AWP does stay ticking across, but I think the Viperio, they themselves will know that's around in which they didn't really ever have a shoe-in for. Now, pause will come through, called by Viperio, and they realized that what was once a map in which looked like it was going to be surefire in their favor is very quickly dwindling away. They're only 2 rounds in it now.
So Chetz have caught right back up. I feel like a lot of our questions and our doubts for this CT side have been answered. Chetz certainly do have it in the locker. The question is, can they continue? Will Viperio poke at the bee's nest enough? We'll see, we'll see. AWP set up, of course, for the T side. One kept across for Chetz as well. Plenty of util, so a lot of luxury here for the Viperio side, but big question for us, maybe now. You've had plenty of opportunity, and this is what, your second or third investment, where your buy consists of these premium rifles and all the util and every extra trimming to a decent investment. Why haven't one of these rounds stuck? And, well, one has. Why weren't you able to convert the round after? Why aren't you able to topple the momentum here of Chetz? Is it too late? Round 21 feels like a little bit of a turning point here for both Chetz and Viperio.
That's it. Well, so far. It's a little bit on the slower side right now for Viperio. They've got less than a minute to work with, and it's looking like the bomb wants to posture up over towards that B site. 2 players there to meet them, 1 rotating over in the hands of TVS. Once it all rotates, that's where I start to get a little bit nervous.
37 seconds left. TVS on the angle, ripped off by the AK of Giraffe, who spins around for a second. Now it's looking quite good here. Dutchy one through the smoke, 25 on the clock. The bomb for Giraffe will bunny up to the pillar and plant within safety, but no one safe from Dutchy through that smoke as another exit for Viperio. MMS now Giraffe removed to 2 versus 2. And Dutchy might have just sold the dream, enough so that Viperio leave this angle a little bit unheard. Artist up close, or on the angle, warbang by Xavi. Now it's just down to ping. 1v2, spots out Dutchy, got to make sure no one's on it, nearly finds the transfer, but Dutchy holds his nerve, and that is a 10th on the board for Chetz. It's a narrow miss, what a great round for the Scotsman. Dutchy does brilliance in round 21.
3K to his name, and it's got to be said for Chetz, this is already significantly more positive. It's just showing how CT side of the Ancient actually is, right? I mean, you know, we saw Chetz, who really never had a sniffing in towards that first half. Yes, they got 5 rounds, but it never...
Brilliant. Unreal. 11-10. Viperio. Chances continue to go astray. Chances continue to go wayward. And can't be found this time. MMS, enough is enough for him. He wants some early B presence. Gonna have a good look. Dutchy, I mean, should know on good timing. Maybe he can make that move happen. A flash towards Cave. Swaggy not interested in any kind to try and take said presence. Instead, they want to play for the control that they already have. They want to make sure they're going to back down, but they're not going to allow Viperio all the way through. 1 minute and 3 on the clock here, Nao. Still good time for Viperio, but again, very mid-roundy. 1 smoke, 3 flashes. That's it. That's all they've got to work with, and it is indeed going to be burnt towards B.
Too much. They're trying to deny that bomb going down, but I don't think he's going to be too lucky. A nice opener from TVS.
Decent. 5v4. Chet's going to get a move on for this retake. Going to be tested though by Gives Me out towards Cave. 2 kills would have been influential, but they'll have to settle for 1 now. The eyes on Giraffe. Oh, he's on Giraffe as he finds himself the first. Oh, Giraffe! Ping with another. And the dominoes fall for Chetz. It's TVS that gets out of dodge with a big green. And finally, Viperio get another round to stick here on the T side. Better late than never. It's 12-10.
Viperio at least just keeping a bit of a gap to work with. I mean, that's the nice thing about it. I think as things stand, though, it's not exactly looking comfortable, but it's better than nothing, is the way I'd put it. I think for Viperio, they were in desperate need of just finding any T-side rounds, anything that they can work under their belt, and at the very least, they got something to work with. And especially losing that man advantage as well, for them to turn it back on its head in a post-spawn scenario has really, really kind of just allowed for this side to have a bit of breathing room. But it's not job done just yet. You look up towards the CT side for Chetz, a sort of full bite to come through, but, you know, Dutchy's wielding an MP9. Xavi's only got himself a 5.7, so it's very janky, very reliant on those few weapons they've got to really step up to the plate.
Dutchy. Yet again, laying down the law on B. Ping. Crash through the red light. Swaggy. We'll pull him up to one side and say no, sir. Artist there as cavalry, though, and that Viperio 3v3 bomb plant. Chetz have got a difficult decision to make. Do you want to roll of the dice, and do you want to risk the M4 in the AWP and the 5.7 with armor, or do you just want to bring this all into the next round and give it another go? Giraffe going to be baited out by the flashbangs. Hasn't really made any progression towards the side. That's a big step, though. That's the first of 3.
It's better, still. Artist find the first, looking for more as well. 2 versus 2 numbers brought level. The Molotov will force him into an engagement here. And Enzo's all too well about it as he'll drop one more. It's all left down to Gizmi. 53 points of HP, but he's got a lineup.
Oh, he knows it all too well. And does find it. No time on the bomb. Ents won't be able to stick it. And the reverse bang isn't enough. Ents will fall. The bomb will give Viperio 13. Oh man, the reverse engineer on the wall bang could have been massive, but instead puts another round to rest in favour of Viperio. And it is disaster for the CT side. That was a good start to the retake as well. Finding Giraffe is massive. Artist, having only gone for 1 as well, was probably as easy as it gets. And Gizmi, the unhealthiest out of the 3 remaining players in terms of HP. He stands strong to find a single kill, but 1 was enough in the post-plant there, Nao. 13-10.
That's it. 3-round gap. That Viperio hold and 3 rounds away from taking Chetz's map pick. It's all down to the finest of margins. But once again, looking test those wards over towards B, but there's a stack here. It's a full 5-on-5.
Oh, and the molly doesn't go as deep as I think Viperio were hoping for. As you said, it feels like quite a few tight-knitted crossfires here on this cave position. Artist falls at the first hurdle. Ping does trade, but do they even test to the left or to the right? Well, Giraffe doesn't really matter. They'll have 1. Ents collects 1 more. 2 casualties. The best of both worlds. Chetz get damaged. Viperio get the round. It's 14-10.
It's getting really worrying once again for Chetz. I think realistically, this is their last attempt to make this, at least a competition on the way out, right? For Chetz, this is probably their last full buy, their last opportunity for them to really kind of solidify them back in towards their CT side before this sort of escapes from them. For Viperio, as things stand, they're in a really healthy position. They've got, a full buy to work with in towards this next one, or somewhat at least full buy. They've got, 4-round gap built up, and they're 2 rounds away. And Chetz's money is crumbling. They themselves are going to be feeling an immense amount of pressure heading in towards this next round. But it's Viperio who do call for the pause here, because they know that this is probably the most important round that they're going to be playing, and they need to see it off.
Do or die. I think Chetz, as you said, will climatise to themselves to this situation, right? It is, in fact, go big or go home in this very scenario. Artist 26-14. What a game this man is having. For Ents, on the flip side, 22-17. It's pretty respectful. Of course, for Viperio, this would be a massive step in the right direction. Be in the Chetz map pick as well. You feel like Nao already fighting that uphill battle. Chetz aren't winning it.
That's it. Flooding out towards that A site, looking to try and avoid Ents as well as he's going to tap through from Temple. But they've got a lot of space, a lot of control out towards the site, and Xavi. Gun barrel spotted in the smoke. He didn't realise his arm was peeking, and he fell.
4v5, back turned for TDS. He goes, I was going to say for Ents, but he's actually in on CT. And you're thinking about a save, Artist will get tagged up quite heavily. But the M4s want nothing to do with it. It's going to be 15-10. They give them map point. They need 5 in a row here, the CT side. Chetz are playing with fire.
Well. For Chetz, that was... it looked like their best opportunity, right? Their last proper uniformed full buy, and potentially there could be a couple more on exit as well, which makes it all the more awkward. Ents will luckily just survive that scare. Not exactly job done just yet. MMS might want to make it a little bit more awkward on the way out as Ents swings. Don't do it, buddy, as he will fall as well. Ill-advised, and, well, he'll know with the benefit of hindsight that he should not have done that. It leaves only kind of, 2 rifles brought across from the previous round, and of course now a reinvestment around it, which is going to be, again, slightly rough. It's probably the better way to put it. And you look towards kind of the CT side, they got a FAMAS, an MP9 to support those 3 M401Ss, and a fairly decent amount of utility, but it's a uniform full buy over towards Viperio, and they've got 5 rounds to work with just to collect 1.
Couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. Could not have said it better myself. Viperio, relaxed. No desperation. For Chetz, it is the complete opposite. This is going to be uptight, in your face, 5 rounds in a row or go home kind of Counter-Strike. Look, first casualty, and it comes in the way of Chetz. It's Giraffe. Picks things up for MMS. He's caught rotating with a bomb. That's a massive kill for Ents.
That's huge. I mean, at least bringing the numbers level and adding to now what is a man advantage. Gives me falling twos in the portal. And as long as Dutch doesn't overextend, this could be a lot of success farm for Chetz, but Artist will bring the numbers level.
Nicely done. Ping will find one. Ents does trade, but that bomb, I was going to say, in a right position to get picked up. Giraffe does exactly that. The Krieg on Artist looking to try and pick up this flank. Swaggy swings out. Got to save his teammate. Backs up against the wall. Does find the kill. Giraffe now goes running through to try and chase him. Got to be careful because there's one man on plat, but Swaggy holds on to them both. 15-11. There's a chance for Chetz.
All that needed was one bullet, and he couldn't quite find it. The Glock didn't do him justice. Chetz have extended the lifeline. They've given themselves the possibility of getting back into this game, but it is still going to be a somewhat investment towards the next. And it's looking like, in fact, it might just be a hero AK round potentially coming through. Chetz going to cause for a pause of their own. They've got a 4-round deficit to try and clamber their way back in towards this game, but you look towards the T side, and despite the vast majority of them having a friendly zone economy to work with, it's looking like they're not investing in. We saw, MMS picking himself up towards an AK, and then a couple of Tech 9s, maybe a Mac 10 is just a little addition. It's not exactly, a full investment from what seemed like they had, for the most part, economy to work with. I mean, maybe the only one who might have struggled is the likes of a Ping or a Gizmi, but they themselves got, full armor, util, and then just 2 Tech 9s. Slightly weird, but they're sticking with that 2K mark. I feel like Viperio could have invested in here, but they want even more money to work with in towards round number 28. Try and make do with one rifle.
Think it's doable? I don't know. Giraffe finds your first and your second. Oh, Giraffe! No way does it happen like this. 3 with a Tech 9, and he only takes an MP9 for himself. A selfless move, but it's Gizmi's AK that finds the 4th, and it's the Molotov of Giraffe to finish the show. It's Viperio on pistols, and it's an upsetting time for Chetz as an 11-16 scoreline barrels their way. Ancient does not go their way. Viperio lock things down, and that's looking fruitful here for a side that have their map pick up next.